Congratulations, you did it. You opened the email, you saw the subject line, promotion offer. Your heart skipped a beat, maybe two. You've been grinding for this. You've been the first one in the office and the last one to leave. You've laughed at the boss's jokes, even the ones about golf, especially the ones about golf. You memorized the corporate values. You leveraged synergies. You circled back. You took things offline. You deep dived until you hit the ocean floor. And now it's here, the title, Senior Director of Strategic Operations, or maybe Vice President of Important Sounding Things. It doesn't matter, it's a level up. And the money, oh, the money, a 15% raise. You do the mental math. 15% more money means 15% more happiness, 15% more freedom, 15% more sushi. You call your mom, she cries. You call your partner. They start looking at Zillow listings for houses with foyers. You don't even know what a foyer is, but you know you can afford one now. You sign the paper, you shake the hand, you update your LinkedIn profile. The likes roll in. Congrats on the new role. Well deserved. You feel like a king. I am here to ruin that feeling. I am here to tell you that you didn't just sign a promotion, you signed a confession. You walked into a trap so beautifully designed, so elegantly constructed by the modern corporate machine that you thanked them while they locked the cage door. Welcome to the promotion trap. Today, we are going to do some math. Nasty, brutish, honest math. We are going to look at why that raise you just celebrated is, mathematically speaking, a pay cut. We are going to look at why the person sitting in the cubicle next to you, the one who does just enough not to get fired, is actually making more money per hour than you are. If you've ever looked at your paycheck after a promotion and thought, wait, where is the rest of it? Keep listening. If you're currently gunning for a promotion, stop. Listen to this first, then decide if you want to sell your soul for a parking spot. Let's start with the raw numbers. Let's create a character. Let's call him Tim. Tim is a solid worker. He makes $75,000 a year. He works 40 hours a week. He clocks in at 9. He clocks out at 5. When he leaves the office, his brain leaves with him. He plays video games. He cooks dinner. He sleeps 8 hours. Tim's hourly rate is roughly $36. Not bad. Tim is happy, but Tim wants more. Tim wants the manager title. Tim wants $90,000. That's a $15,000 raise. That's huge. That's a Honda Civic worth of money every year. So Tim grinds. He gets the promotion. He is now Manager Tim. Salary, $90,000. Here is what happens on day one. Tim is no longer an individual contributor. Tim is exempt. If you don't know what exempt means, it is a legal term that translates to, we own you now. It means you are exempt from overtime pay. It means if you work 40 hours, you get paid. If you work 80 hours, you get paid the exact same amount. And Manager Tim, he isn't working 40 hours anymore. The boss expects Tim to be in early to set the tone. The boss expects Tim to stay late to wrap up. The team has questions. The clients have emergencies. The emails, good God, the emails. They don't stop at 5 p.m. They ping at 7 p.m. They vibrate at 9:30 p.m. They haunt his dreams at 2 a.m. Tim is now averaging 55 hours a week. That's conservative. Most new managers are pushing 60, but let's be generous and say 55. Let's redo the math. Old Tim, $75,000 divided by 2,080 hours, that's a standard 40-hour work year, that's $36.05 per hour. New Tim, $90,000 divided by, well, hang on, 55 hours a week times 50 weeks, assuming he actually takes 2 weeks off, which he won't, but let's pretend, that's 2,750 hours. $90,000 divided by 2,750 hours is $3,272 per hour. Did you catch that? Tim got a $15,000 raise and he took a $3.33 per hour pay cut. He is selling his time at a discount. He's working harder, stressing more, aging faster, and the company is getting a bulk deal on his life force. But it gets worse. We haven't even talked about the government yet. Let's talk about taxes. Now, I'm not going to do the tax bracket fallacy thing, where people think moving up a bracket means you lose money overall. That's not how it works. You only pay the higher rate on the money in that bracket. I know that, you know that. But that extra $15,000, it comes off the top. It is the marginal income. That means it is taxed at the highest rate you touch. Let's say Tim lives in a state with income tax. Let's say between federal, state, and FICA, his effective marginal tax rate on that new money is about 30%. So that $15,000 raise isn't $15,000, it's $10,500. $10,500 divided by 12 months is $875 a month. Now, $875 is real money. I'm not sneezing at $875. That's a nice car payment. That's a lot of groceries. But remember the 15 extra hours a week? That's 60 extra hours a month. Tim is trading 60 hours of his life, his evenings, his weekends, his sanity, for $875. That works out to about $14.50 an hour for the overtime. Tim, the senior manager, the big shot, the guy with the corner cubicle, is moonlighting for the company at minimum wage. If Tim took a second job walking dogs or flipping burgers, he might actually make more per hour for that extra time. And he wouldn't have to worry about Q3 deliverables while he was doing it. But wait, we are just getting started. Because when you get the promotion, you don't just change your hours, you change your lifestyle. This is the image tax. When Tim was a junior analyst, nobody cared if he drove a beat-up 2012 Mazda with a dent in the bumper. Nobody cared if he wore the same 3 button-down shirts from Target on rotation. He was scrappy. He was saving. But Manager Tim has clients. Manager Tim has a team to inspire. Manager Tim cannot roll up to the client lunch in a dented Mazda. So Tim buys a car. Nothing crazy, just a nice, sensible, entry-level luxury sedan, or maybe a fully loaded SUV, because he earned it, and because the boss drives a Porsche and Tim feels weird parking next to it in a rust bucket. That's a $600 a month car payment, plus higher insurance. Then there are the clothes. The Target shirts don't cut it in the boardroom. He needs suits, or at least business casual that doesn't look like it was balled up in the corner of the room. He needs dry cleaning. You know how much dry cleaning costs? It's a subscription service for your clothes. Then there are the lunches. Old Tim got a turkey sandwich. Manager Tim goes out with the other managers. They go to the place with the $18 salads. He can't be the guy pulling out a Tupperware container while they're discussing synergy. It looks bad. It looks cheap. So let's tally up the image tax. Car payment upgrade, $400 a month. Wardrobe and dry cleaning, $100 a month. Social pressure lunches and happy hours, $200 a month. That's $700 a month. Remember his take-home raise, the after-tax specific amount? It was $875. $875 minus $700 is $175. Tim is now doing all that extra work, taking on all that extra stress, managing all those difficult people for a net profit of $175 a month. That is one fancy dinner. That is a cable bill. Tim has played himself, but the trap goes deeper. It's not just about what you buy, it's about what you lose. Let's talk about the convenience tax. This is the silent killer of the high-income earner. When you work 55 or 60 hours a week and you're mentally exhausted, your ability to do basic life tasks evaporates. Old Tim cooked dinner. It cost him $5 in groceries. Manager Tim is exhausted. He gets home at 7:30. The idea of chopping an onion makes him want to weep. So he orders Uber Eats. That's $35. Old Tim mowed his own lawn on Saturday morning. Manager Tim is catching up on emails on Saturday morning, or he's just staring at the wall trying to lower his cortisol levels. He hires a lawn guy, $50 a week. Old Tim cleaned his own apartment. Manager Tim hires a cleaner. Old Tim walked his dog. Manager Tim pays a walker because he's stuck in a 5 p.m. meeting that ran long. You see the pattern? You are using your extra money to buy back the time you sold to the company, but you are buying it back at a premium. You sold your hour to the company for a post-tax effective rate that is garbage, then you pay a premium for delivery fees, service charges, and labor to get basic survival tasks done. It is a money laundering operation where you wash your own money and keep less of it. And the worst part, the stress. We need to put a dollar figure on cortisol.
When you move into management or any high-pressure senior role, you are no longer paid for what you do. You are paid for what you absorb. You absorb the client's anger, you absorb the team's incompetence, you absorb the CEO's unrealistic expectations. You are a human shock absorber. Shock absorbers wear out. Your sleep quality tanks. You gain weight because of the stress hormones and the Uber Eats. Your blood pressure creeps up. You start grinding your teeth at night. You need a night guard. That's $600. You need therapy to deal with the imposter syndrome and the anxiety. That's $150 a session. You need massages because your shoulders are permanently locked near your ears. You start drinking better scotch, not because you enjoy the taste, but because the cheap stuff doesn't numb the pain of the 4 p.m. conference call fast enough. This is the health tax, and it compounds just like interest, but in reverse. So let's look at Tim again. He is working more hours, his hourly wage has dropped, his fixed costs have gone up because of the car and the clothes, his variable costs have exploded because of the convenience spending. His health is deteriorating. And on paper, he is a success story. He is in the top bracket. He is crushing it. If he tries to complain, nobody listens. Oh, poor you, they say. You make $90,000 a year? You have a title? Cry me a river. He is trapped. He can't quit because he has the car payment now. He can't step down because that looks like failure. He can't ask for fewer hours because that's not the culture here. He is wearing golden handcuffs, except they aren't even gold. They're gold-plated plastic. This is why you see so many mid-level managers who look like they have aged in dog years. They are running on a treadmill that is going slightly faster than they can run, and the incline keeps going up. So why do we do it? Why do we chase the promotion if the math is so obviously bad? 2 reasons: ego and fear. The ego part is easy. We are social primates. We like status. We like being the alpha. We like the validation. When you go to a high school reunion, you want to say senior vice president, not associate. We have been programmed since kindergarten to believe that up is the only direction. Grades go up, height goes up, career goes up. If you aren't moving up, you are stagnating, you are dying. We treat our careers like a shark. If it stops moving forward, it drowns. Then there's the fear. The fear of inflation, the fear of being left behind, the fear that if we don't grab the brass ring now, it will disappear forever. And the corporate world knows this. They prey on it. They dangle the title like a carrot. They know they can pay you a 15% raise to get 50% more work out of you because you are desperate for the validation of the title. It is the greatest trade in the history of commerce, and you are on the losing side.
So what is the alternative? Am I telling you to be a slacker? Am I telling you to live in your mom's basement and eat ramen? No, I am telling you to be a mercenary. I am telling you to look at a promotion not as a reward, but as a business transaction. When they offer you the job, do not look at the salary. Look at the hourly rate. Ask yourself, what are the actual hours? Ask the person who had the job before you. Oh, wait, they quit because of burnout? That's a data point. Calculate the new money after taxes. Subtract the image tax. Are you going to have to buy a new wardrobe? Commute to a different office? Subtract the convenience tax. Will this job destroy your ability to cook dinner? If the math doesn't work, you have 3 options. Option 1, the no. You politely decline. I love my current role. I feel I can contribute best right here. This is a power move. It confuses them. Wait, you don't want more stress? It signals that you are content. And interestingly, in a twisted corporate psychology way, it sometimes makes you more valuable. You are the rock. You are the expert. You become the senior individual contributor. You keep your 40 hours. You keep your sanity. You keep your hourly wage high. Option 2, the hard negotiation. You run the math for them. Maybe not the Uber Eats part, but the hours part. I'm excited about the role, but based on the responsibilities, this looks like a 55-hour-a-week commitment. The salary offer creates a dilution of my current hourly value. To make this make sense for me, the number needs to be $110,000, not $90,000. They might laugh, they might say no, but they might say yes. And if they say no, you saved yourself from a trap. Option 3, the resume builder. You take the job, you accept the trap, but you do it with your eyes open.
You set a timer. I will do this for 18 months. I will get the title on my resume. I will learn the skills. And then I will leverage this title to get a job at a different company for $130,000. This is the job hop. In the modern economy, loyalty is a tax. The biggest raises don't come from promotions, they come from leaving. A promotion is usually capped. We can only give you 15%. But a new job, the market rate is the market rate. You can jump 30, 40, 50%. If you take the promotion, treat it as a graduate school that pays you. You are there to learn, get the badge, and graduate to a better life somewhere else. Do not settle in. Do not buy the Porsche. Keep the Honda. The danger comes when you take the promotion and think you have arrived. You haven't arrived, you've just entered a harder level of the video game with the same health bar. Let's zoom out for a second. This whole climb the ladder narrative is a relic. It's a leftover from the 1950s when you worked for General Electric for 40 years and they gave you a pension and a gold watch. The pension is gone. The gold watch is a Fitbit you bought yourself to track your rising heart rate. The company is not your family. The company is a sports team. They want you while you are performing. If you blow out your knee or your nervous system, they will trade you or cut you. So stop treating the promotion like a knighthood. The goal of work is not to get the highest title. The goal of work is to fund your life. If the promotion funds a better life, a truly better life, with more savings, more security, and enough time to enjoy it, then take it. But if the promotion simply funds a more expensive version of misery, run. There's a sweet spot in every organization. It's usually right below middle management. It's the senior specialist, the lead analyst, the principal engineer. These people make great money. They are experts. People respect them. But nobody calls them at 10 p.m. because they aren't in charge of the crisis. They are just the people who solve it in the morning. They dodge the meetings. They dodge the politics. They clock out. They drive the 2012 Mazda. They have huge 401ks. They look 10 years younger than their bosses. They have figured out the secret. Wealth isn't just the number on the paycheck. Wealth is the ratio of money to stress. If you double your money but triple your stress, you are poorer. If you increase your salary by 10% but increase your hours by 20%, you are being ripped off. Don't be Tim. Don't sell your freedom for a title that won't fit on your tombstone. And seriously, stop buying lunch for the team. The company has a budget for that. If they don't, then the team can bring sandwiches. The next time you're in a review and they dangle that senior vice assistant to the regional manager title in front of you, pull out a calculator, look them in the eye, and make sure the price is right. Because the only thing worse than a job you hate is a job you hate that you tricked yourself into wanting. If this made you rethink your 5-year plan, or if you're currently hiding in the bathroom at work to avoid a meeting you're supposed to be leading, hit that like button. Subscribe for more anti-career advice that might actually save your life. And go home. Seriously, it's 5 p.m. somewhere, and even if it isn't, they aren't paying you enough to stay.